Chapter 49. The land of the west quakes with tremors, roaming dragon skeletons squishing what remains of life out of the foliage. Even the sturdy trees that once stood tall lay destroyed on the land. Child-sized purple demons with spiked whips fly through the air, cackling with madness. The Franticore spotlight eyes sweep across the flattened land. Aziza was at the heart of Zoma's plains. The land is flat like the grass and covered in fresh ash. There are no rocks or structures, no place to hide. Her fading jennies are plentiful, but for how long would they last? Every couple of minutes she would have to bite into another before its effects fully wore off. A second too late and the cackling demons were sure to spot her. However, those were the least of her worries. Nearby was a lake, black and thick like tar. At its center stood Zoma's forbidden castle, surrounded by a moat of vomit-green acid. The grueling castle was surrounded by a translucent barrier with an ominous purple energy spewing out. Beyond that was ash-covered mountains and a massive volcano spitting black and red smoke like a broken machine, making the familiar dead air oppressive. The dangerous beasts walking on Zoma's plains are only half an hour away from safety. If what Takeshi said was true, and once all pieces are together, Zoma will strike, then there isn't any time for a reunion, let alone preparations. But nevertheless, she must hurry. A timer is ticking regardless. The Franticore's eerie snarls rumble in the sweltering sky as it circles around, peering around like a scavenger looking for scraps. Yellow beams of light occasionally scan over her, each time her heart stops. Finally, something appears in the land of nothing, a swamp of poison. It bubbles with intensity, and the large monsters have steered clear of it. However, something was amiss. It didn't smell rancid or rotting. It didn't smell like anything. She closes in. It's not hot, either. She squats down to the toxic pool, taking a fading jenny from her exposed bag and sticking the tip in. It sizzles like cooking meat, yet when lifted, its tip still remains. No damage in sight. She carefully sticks her finger in. It's tepid, but strangely boils. She stares ahead to find a stone staircase peeking out from the poison, diving deeper into the earth. She steps through the inky poison, unscathed by the toxins, and quickly reaches the first step. Below are a few more visible stairs before being engulfed by complete darkness. Her hand grows visible, and the Franticore sweeps its eyes across the field. No time to think this through. She rushes down the stairs, swallowed by the dark. Her steps echo along with the giant beast outside. The enclosed stairwell rumbles and dust scatters from the walls. Where could these steps possibly lead? She wondered. Perhaps it was a secret base that Ortega once used, or a gravesite for the unfortunate. A dim light came into view. The final step was reached, none of which she thought to be true lied ahead. The single room has its floor covered in vibrant flowers. It smells soothing and heavenly. The walls are coated with colorful banners, which look to belong to a kingdom of an ancient era. The bright light was like the sun she hasn't seen in weeks. At the end sits an empty throne with an ornate red chest at the feet. A soft voice like an angel bounces along the room. "You have pushed through the toxic illusion. I don't know whether to congratulate you on your cleverness, or berate you for being daft." Radiant sparkles flutter through the air as if a coordinated wind blew into the room. They spin in a magnificent circle, gathering loose petals from the healthy plants, creating a beautiful display at the ceiling like a majestic, harmless squall. Aziza stands in the eye of the storm, looking up at the light show of vast petals before they dart towards the throne. They form a humanoid creature with long, flowing green hair and luminescent viridian eyes. "You're a fairy," Aziza chokes, watching in shock as she fully forms. She is a fair-skinned woman with a sparkling long red dress with matching flats. Her fine hair is dazzling and her clean smile is beaming with a cool confidence. She doesn't sit like a regal queen nor young princess, instead placing her feet on the ornate chest, hands clasped together. Was this the hermit Takeshi mentioned? But he said he never saw a fairy. "Why must you act surprised?" she asked in a playful tone, bringing Aziza back to the moment. "Seems this isn't your first encounter with a fairy." Her eyes widen. "How do you know?" She giggles with a devious smirk. "You're an adorable and oblivious thing. Don't you worry your heart out. I am no mind reader, if that is what you are thinking. It's simple, really. You smell like honey." Aziza sniffs her exposed hand, but she smells only the drenched sweat and soot she has been carrying for days. "Oh, trust me, sweetie. Honey isn't the only thing I smell on you, considering you have been gobbling those putrid plants like sunflower seeds. Your nose isn't strong enough to pick up the scent. Only the nose of fairies can, though fairies can't sense their own pheromones. It's like a mating call for animals." "Excuse me?" "Oh, forget it. Can't say I ever expected another fairy to be around these parts. Maybe love isn't completely off the table as I thought. So how about it, sweet thing?" She leans her head forward with curious eyes. "Care to introduce me?" Aziza is lost for words. Just moments ago she was worried of the monsters ripping her apart, and minutes later, a desperate fairy is asking for connections. Alfgard is a strange place, she thought. "I was told to come here for the Staff of Rain." "You mean this thing?" she said, smacking her shoe on the chest below. "I don't know if I can trust you humans with this power. You failed once before. Please, it's urgent. We need to stop Zoma. I was sent here by Takeshi." She leans her head back on the throne. "So that phony who calls himself a smith wants another go? Well, too bad. I tried helping before under the guidance of the goddess, but after the destruction of our relics, I can't go forth with whatever crazy plan he has in store." I knew it. Despite only knowing the blacksmith for a few days, something about him, perhaps the way he carried himself, was off. He knows more than he lets on, and being a common soldier for an army shouldn't have granted him access to all the information he provided. However, the true fault of his actions, the crack in his armor, was when he garnered no reaction to seeing Fedir. Only a man devoid of life, lack of fight, would push past him with no thought. Either way, she had a mission to do. The staff was so close, and she had to find a way to succeed. Everyone was counting on her, and pulling their own weight. Zoma had to pay, but she wasn't going to be bullheaded like before, pushing herself beyond her limits. She needed her friends to make it happen. "Is there anything I can do to have it?" "I can show you the nice fairy." Her words were meek with her arms open, hoping it would work. Her eyes squint and her smile is nervous. "You're an idiot. That is something Isamu would say," she tells herself. The fairy waves a dismissive hand, scoffing at her suggestion. "Not even potential love can change my mind. My heart is already set. Those ungrateful humans destroyed what belonged to our mother. With their recklessness, it took ages to fix what was left of the staff. Have you ever lost something you held close in memory of your family?" "I have." She pulls out from the pocket close to her heart the dented pendant. The seated fairy leans in, looking upon Aziza's saddened face. "This pendant belonged to my parents. I spent years searching for them, only to find this in their stead. It's all I have left of them." She holds out the pendant. "How about a trade? My pendant for your staff. We both give up something we had to fix when broken to pieces." "You're a strange girl," she answered, her face cold and serious. "Why trade away something you spent years of your life yearning for? Would you go against the wishes of your family? I used to believe reuniting the pieces together would bring me comfort or peace, but none came. Instead, I sought revenge. I wanted Zoma dead no matter the cost. It was thanks to a dear friend for teaching me the value of seeing beyond dented tin. My family from beyond are still held close without this pendant. Wouldn't you say the same? And this friend of yours, who are they? Family, along with my other 2 friends. Genuine people who I can confide in, learn from, and be true to. Then the staff you seek is for them? For us. I'm not alone. I never have been. The fairy smiles along with Aziza. I like the truth and confidence in your words. I don't know the kind of kid you were, but I can tell you have matured. Perhaps if the heroes against Zoma had the same feelings as you, maybe things could have turned out differently. She places her foot behind the box and pushes it forward. You have a deal. Your pendant for my staff. Thank you, Aziza said, walking towards the chest. She kneels down to the top, and magic sparkles flow around it, slowly raising the lid to reveal the staff. The staff is a deep ocean blue with a sapphire gem atop its end. It is as tall as her, but incredibly light and durable. From the gemstone, a faint, peaceful sound of rain droplets emit. She looks down at her pendant at the palm of her hand. The smile of her parents when she first received it entered her mind. Their words echo. We love you, Aziza. Hold this close to your heart whenever you feel sad, but remember we will always be near your heart. I know now, Mom and Dad. I love you too, she whispered, bringing the pendant to her heart one last time before sealing it away in the empty box. A haunting roar quakes the lone chamber. The room shakes violently and the banners fall from the wall. Aziza spins around to the entrance to hear cackling approaching. The fairy shoots from her chair, standing beside Aziza. A light shines around her hand, soon fading to reveal a silver bow. What's going on? Aziza clamored, reaching for her brittle daggers. Zoma has grown aware. He knows of your plan. A cackling demon from the outside flies in, swinging its spiked whip across the ground, ripping apart the flowers. She aims her bow at the demon, and an arrow of light appears. She fires, and it zips through the air like a streak of lightning, dissolving the monster in a holy light. Your time is running short, she shouted, drawing another light arrow. The Franticor is headed to wherever the relics have been assembled. I will hold off the demons as long as I can. You must hurry. More cackling demons swoop into the room. Their yellow eyes turn a piercing red upon sight. They point their whips at them, communicating to each other through horrendous laughs. Aziza holds close her daggers, eyes focused, stance ready. I won't leave you to die, she replied, gritting her teeth at the monsters. The fairy sticks her hand to Aziza, and a yellow barrier forms around her. It grows more opaque by the second. The fairy has a forced, saddened smile. You will need your fairy friend to wield its power. It's a shame I won't be able to meet that friend of yours and hand it to them myself. Put in a good word for me, though, would you? Aziza screams, and reckless slamming of her weapons cannot break through the barrier, and she watches as the fairy's arrows shoot across the room, slowly getting swarmed by the overwhelming demons. The light fully engulfs Aziza, and she disappears.